Are the Sheerside Mountains the hardest hunting grounds in the Forbidden West? Probably not. But can they still be tricky? Definitely yes, because they're designed to test your skills in weapons and elements that you probably don't use all that often. But the good news is, we've once again assembled the Horizon Creators Guild to break down every trial on Sheerside Mountain and show you the best way to complete each challenge with full stripes. First, HonestCake is going to take us through the Frost trial, and then the Shredder Master himself, Arktix, is going to break down the Shredder Catch trial. Finally, I'll show you everything you need to know to complete the Plasma Blast trial. And oh yeah, we're going to do it on very hard difficulty using only blue weapons, coils, weaves, and armors. So no matter what difficulty level you're on, you should be able to tackle this hunting grounds like the Nora champion you are. And be sure to boop that like button if you like these types of collaborations, and let us know in the comments what types of videos you want to see in the future. Okay, let's get into it. HC, take it away.
Thanks, Chaz. Let's start by taking a look at the Frost trial. To get full stripes, you'll have 3 minutes to destroy 3 Bellowback cargo sacks while the Bellowback is in the brittle state. Bellowbacks have 2 sacks, the larger cargo refining sack in the back and the smaller gullet in the front. Luckily for us, destroying either one will count towards the goal. To avoid fighting 4 machines at once, we'll remain in stealth for as long as possible. From there, we'll approach each Bellowback individually, delivering precision shots to quickly freeze and destroy the Bellowback sacks before the other machines can react. Our main weapon will be the Cleaving Sharpshot Bow. You may recognize this as the bow given to you by Dekka during the main quest, The Broken Sky. This bow's precision arrows deal high amounts of impact damage, which will augment with 2 7% damage coils. In order to apply the brittle state, we'll throw some frost bombs from the Icefire Blast Sling, which can be purchased at the Bulwark or the Memorial Grove Arena. I've added 2 9% frost coils to the sling to help freeze the Bellowback more quickly. We're going to support our precision shots with one of the best Valor Surges in the game, Power Shots. I'm only going to use the first level of Power Shots, which gives us 150% range damage on 3 shots. This extra boost in damage will let us burst a Frost Bellowback sack with a single shot from stealth, giving us a quick way to freeze the machine. We'll be wearing the Utaru Harvester outfit. Once fully upgraded, this Infiltrator class outfit provides 2 key skill bonuses. Low Profile, which will help us stay hidden while navigating the grounds, and Stealth Ranged, which will boost the damage of our shots while hidden. Last but not least, let's take a look at our Hunter Kit. Make sure you have at least 2 smoke bombs at the ready, since we're gonna get back into hiding after engaging each Bellowback. Before the trial, I also like to have Aloy eat spicy beanweed morsels, a dish sold by the cook found in Plainsong. This provides 2 additional levels of Stealth Ranged, the same perk found on our outfit. This isn't strictly necessary if you've already unlocked both levels of Stealth Ranged in the Infiltrator skill tree. That's it for the build, so let's do a run through of the actual trial. We're going to start to the left of the arena, deal with this Frost Bellowback here, move over to the back to deal with the second one, and then finish off with the Acid Bellowback to the right. He's got our back turned to us, so let's head on down. Now I like to get to this patch of grass over here, and we're just going to wait for this Frost Bellowback to get over to the start of the arena that way. While we've got some time, let's make sure to eat our spicy beanweed morsels, give us a bit more stealth range damage. And now's also a good time to activate Power Shots. This will give us 3 extra shots with more damage, which is all we'll need for this trial. Now I like to wait until he turns sideways so we can get a good view on both of the sacks. We're going to break the gullet first to freeze the machine, and then break the cargo sack for the trial count itself. So there we go. And now to break the frozen sack, just like that, that's 1. Let's get back into stealth using one of our smoke bombs, and run to the next one. I like to get to this patch of grass down over here. It's the closest one. And we're just going to repeat the exact same thing. So with our last use of Power Shots, break the gullet. And now, while he's still kind of stunned from the frost, break the cargo sack. Perfect. 1 more smoke bomb, we're back in stealth. Now switch over to the slingshot to freeze this Acid Bellowback. Doesn't see us quite yet, but he will if we're not quick enough. That should be enough. And just for a bit of flourish, I like to finish off with a braced shot for that last cargo sack. And there you go, trial complete. With this strategy, you can finish the Frost trial in under 1.5 minutes by taking no damage. Now, I'll pass it over to Arktix to take a look at the Shredder Catch trial.
Thanks, Honest. So for the shredder catch trial, I'll first show you the legit way to do it, and then I'll show you how to literally do it in 2 seconds on any difficulty. Okay, so of course the trick with this trial is understanding how to throw and catch shredders. So before we actually start the trial, I want to show you guys how to do that consistently in a place that's easy to practice at. So where we are here is actually just in Chain Scrape. Kind of on the southwestern side near these practice dummies, which we can use to practice with the shredders. Okay, so the trick with catching shredders is after you throw one, you want to move in one direction, either left or right, consistently, because the disc actually tries to predict where Aloy is going to be based on how you're moving. And so if you're moving erratically, it's going to be very hard for you to just be where you need to catch the disc. But if you move either just left, like circling the enemy to the left, or to the right, it'll come right back to you. You don't have to do anything to actually physically catch it. You just have to be in the right place for it. So we can practice that with the dummies here. So I'll just throw a disc and then I'll move to the left. And we just automatically catch it. Didn't have to actually do anything to catch that. Throw it again. I'll move to the right this time. And the disc comes back to us. And you can actually see underneath the circular reticle, there's some dots. And 2 of them right now are a little bit bigger than the third, which means we have 2 charges because we've had 2 successful catches. So I'll throw it one more time. Catch it. And you can see we get these kind of like energy beams coming into the disc right now, and all 3 dots are full, which means the disc is fully charged. And that's what we need for the trial. We need to get a fully charged disc and then throw it at the enemy to make it explode, and we have to do that twice. Okay, so for gear, we don't really need anything special. You can use any shredder gauntlet. I'll use pretty much the lowest level blue slicing shredder gauntlet, and I even grabbed an unupgraded one here just to prove the point. And then we'll also need a rope caster, and I'll use the blue anchor, also totally unupgraded. If you do have an upgraded rope caster though, that'll definitely help you out. Like the elite would definitely be a good one to grab. The other thing we're going to definitely need are a few smoke bombs. I have 4 of them here. You could grab a few from the Hunter Merchant if you need them. All right, let's get the trial started. I'll show you real quick that I am on ultra hard difficulty. Can't see a difficulty level here in the settings, which means we're locked on ultra hard. Now, when we go in, I like to go for this frost bellow back here that walks up the hill, just because when it's up on the hill, it's a little bit more isolated from the other machines. So we'll talk to the groundskeeper.
Let me know what you need.
We're going to go for the shredder catch trial. And of course we want full stripes, so we have 2 minutes, which should be plenty of time using the strategy that we're going to use. And I like to actually jump in here a little bit further away from the rope, just so that we're not noticed by the roller back as easily. And we'll run up here, get our ropes ready to go. And I'm actually going to pop smoke right away, just so that we have an easier time getting our first couple ropes on. Remember, with a rope caster, you have to hold your shot and then release in order for it to attach to armor plates. So I'm holding my shot and then releasing. And we need 1 more. Okay, so the bellow back's tied down. I'm going to turn around here and make sure that there's no other machines coming up behind us, which there aren't. That's good. So we also want to back up to give ourselves some room for the shredders, so they're easier to catch. So we also want to remember to make sure we're moving in one direction. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this. Move to the left. Throw and move to the right. And again, move to the left. And then we'll get the explosion on this one. So you can see we got 1 out of 2 machine hits there, and so we just need to do it one more time. Totally missed my shot there. That's all right, we'll throw another one. And again. 1 more. And it's charged. And there you go. Trial complete. That's the legit way. Now let me show you the super fast 2-second method. Okay, so for the super fast method, we need the power shredder weapon technique, which is in the survivor branch all the way down the right side of the tree. It's the last weapon technique here, power shredder. So we're going to use this because its explosion actually counts as the 4th throw explosion, and you don't have to throw and catch the shredders to get there. Okay, so I've already started the trial for us. We're just going to make sure that power shredder is our active weapon technique in the center of the weapon wheel there, which it is. And then we're going to go ahead and jump in here. Aim like we normally would, but instead of using the R2 trigger, we're going to use the R1 bumper to use a weapon technique. So that's 1 and 2, and we're done super fast. All right, that's the shredder catch trial, and now I'll pass it off to Chaz to take us through the plasma blast trial.
Thanks, Arktix. Now, the Plasma Blast trial can be a little bit tricky if you're not familiar with how to use plasma. But fortunately, we don't need to venture out to find the most powerful legendary plasma weapon out there. We have everything we need right here at Sheerside Mountain. So let's break down the trial, talk a little bit about how plasma works, and then I'll show you the most efficient way that I've found to beat this trial in just over a minute. Now, the goal of this trial is to inflict the rollerback with plasma and create a max Plasma Blast explosion. And we have to do it twice in under 2 minutes in order to get full stripes. So let's talk about how plasma works. There are essentially 4 different components to plasma: plasma buildup, the plasma blast state, plasma damage meter, and lastly, the plasma blast explosion. Plasma buildup works similar to the other elemental types. You hit the machine with enough plasma ammo to fill up the meter, and once the limit is reached, they'll enter the plasma blast state. The Plasma Blast state lasts for 15 seconds, and any damage you do to the machine during that time will start to build up the plasma damage meter. So the goal during the 15-second Plasma Blast state is to try and fill up the damage meter as much as possible. And then once the Plasma Blast state ends, you'll reach the final phase, the Plasma Blast explosion. And the size of the Plasma Blast explosion will depend on whether or not you were able to fill up that plasma damage meter. If you weren't able to fill it up all the way, you'll get a level 1 explosion. And if you were, you'll get a level 2 explosion, which is what we're gonna need in order to complete this trial. So step 1 is finding a weapon that has plasma ammo. And for that, we're gonna use the Plasma Bolt Blaster that we can get from the merchant here at Sheerside Mountain. And we'll wanna make sure that we have it fully upgraded to level 4. And for coils, because we don't typically get plasma increased coils until later in the game, and because bolt blasters are notoriously slow to reload, we're gonna use 2 15% reload speed coils. And for armor, I'll be using the Utaro Harvester primarily because of the +2 low profile skill. This skill is going to decrease our chances of the other machines getting involved while we attack the rollerback. And for my 2 weaves, I'll be using the +2 quiet spear weave, which is going to help further reduce our visibility, and the +2 weapon to stamina plus weave, which is going to help us max out our weapon stamina to level 4. There's a couple of items we'll also want to make sure to have going into the trial. Even with the +2 low profile skill and the +2 quiet spear weave, the other machines in the hunting ground are likely to get involved. So smoke bombs are going to provide us a nice cover to help keep us from getting attacked, as well as give us a buffer when we need to reload and refill our stamina. And next, we'll want a couple of stamina potions. The best way to build up plasma on the rollerback, as well as deal enough damage to fill up the damage meter, is going to be with the sustained burst weapon technique for the bolt blaster. But even with our weapon stamina skill maxed out, we're still going to eventually run out of stamina, so we'll need to have some potions handy when that happens. And that's going to be our basic strategy. We're going to use the sustained burst weapon technique to quickly build up plasma and fill up the plasma damage meter. Then we're going to use the smoke bomb to give us some cover while we reload and refill our stamina. And then we're going to go right back into the sustained burst weapon technique. Now, when we jump in, we want to head to the far side and get over to the red grass. We'll get some cover there. And we'll get in position, and we're going to start right in with the sustained burst weapon technique to start building up that plasma. And we don't have enough there to fill up the plasma meter all the way, so we've got to reload, throw down a smoke bomb to give ourselves some cover, and then right back into the sustained burst. And we do enough there to fill up the plasma meter and fill up the damage meter. So again, throw down a smoke bomb. And at this point, we're just waiting for that plasma blast explosion, which gives us enough time to reload, fill up our stamina again, and then just get ready. There, we've got one first, and then same tactic all over again. So sustained burst weapon technique. So we run out of ammo, reload, smoke bomb, and then right back into it again after we reloaded. And there it is. We've done enough plasma to fill up the meter and enough damage to fill up the damage meter. Now we just have to wait for the plasma explosion to go off. And just like that, we were able to get 2 max plasma blast explosions in just over a minute. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and thanks to HonestCake and Arktix for their help putting this together. If you're not already subscribed to their channels, be sure to do so. All of their information is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.